Yo, what's up, bro? You hear me?
Yeah, hey, brother.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, bro. I'm good.
You looking good?
I'm good. Thanks to you, bro.
I don't take much credit, man. You did all the work. I just guided you a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's get into this, man. How you feeling these days?
Well, I feel good, man. A lot of energy. Um, real energetic. I blow through workouts like nothing.
I mean, I
I
could
mean,
tell. You look like you put some size on since the last time we chatted.
a little bit, man.
And what about mentally?
Mentally, I'm good, man. I'm in a good place. I mean, when you look good, when you feel good, you look good.
And vice
You know,
versa, of course. of course.
it's all how what you see. When you feeling good, you're gonna when you look good, you're gonna feel good.
I
You
do
already know.
understand that. That's a common response. I do hear that a lot.
You
Bro,
know.
do me a favor, man. I know that you struggled with your weight for a very long time. You know, in
Yeah, like
childhood, in childhood, and even throughout your teenage years, and even your earlier adult years, from what we spoke about. Talk to me about like how the peak method finally got you to the place where you were like, okay, I'm ready to make a change, and I think this is what's going to help me get this weight off once and for all.
well, basically, I was just eating like shit. Um, I didn't know a thing about nutrition. You know how you go to the gym and you just do shit like a chicken with your head cut off. You don't know exactly what you're doing.
I do
So,
know what that's about, right?
you do those kind of things for a while, and then it's like, all right, I'm putting in the time, but I'm not getting any of the results. So, that's how I found you, and you just put me on the right track with the nutrition. And once I had put the nutrition in place, everything just started going from there.
Right, right.
And the results they were coming in. So I was really happy with the results I was getting.
I mean, talk to me about what it was like, just kind of walking around overweight. I don't remember exactly what you were at your highest. I think it was 300, a tiny bit
Yeah,
above.
it was about 300 pounds.
And how tall are you?
About 5'9".
So I think it's safe to say that you were probably a little bit heavier than you should have been at
Yeah,
that.
yeah, definitely. I had a spinal surgery when I was a teenager,
Okay.
and the doctors would keep telling me, like, if you don't lose this weight, your back is progressively going to get worse.
Wow.
So that was another reason why I was like, and then walking around at that weight for half of your life is really not a good look. People don't really respect you. I'm not saying they don't respect you, but when you walk around like that, you know, people are just quick to brush you off. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically what it was. I was about 300 pounds for a while.
Wow.
Half of my adult life, let's say.
Like, let me ask you, like, how did it feel like from a self-esteem perspective for you to be that heavy, and like the way that going further into depth in the way that people were treating you when you were that weight?
Yeah, I mean, even with friends, you get the fat jokes. You know what I'm saying? Yo, chubby or Buddha, shit like that. And after a while, it's a joke, but sometimes it cuts deep. You know
I
what I'm saying?
understand. Yeah, I understand.
And as the bigger guy, you gotta brush it off, or you gotta come back with a harder joke to shut them up.
Or
That's
or you could get yourself into some serious shape.
exactly. You
That-
already,
which is exactly what you did. Bro, talk to
which
me
was
about. Go ahead. I'm sorry, man. Go ahead.
well. I mean, I think having that weight on was a good thing because it gave me I molded it,
Little chip on
and
your
I have
shoulder.
now I got a little size, so I guess
Of
it worked
course.
out.
No, dude, you look absolutely amazing. I want to talk about what kind of an effect losing all this weight had on your mental health, not physical. Your physical is clear. I mean, we all looking at it, but when in terms of your mental health, in terms of your emotional health, even your financial health, with how you're doing at your job, how has all this improved since you lost this weight?
I mean, I'm more energetic. I want to get out of bed.
Right.
It's easier to get out of bed. And and just it's. I'll be honest with you, it's easy to shop for clothes now. When you big, you know, you limited on what you could wear.
Of
You
course.
going into a store asking for a 44 waist. You know, sometimes they don't. You know what I'm saying?
Is that what you were?
I was about 40 something in the
What are you
waist,
now?
about maybe a 33.
That's pretty crazy. It's pretty
You know,
crazy.
but the bad thing was you had to throw all the old clothes away and you had to buy a whole bunch of new ones. So,
I'm
you
understand.
know,
If you like nice things, it could be a bit of an expense, but I'm sure you much rather be
oh yeah,
with.
I rather 33 waist.
Of course. You know, I think that should be a given.
I mean, at first I was eating a lot. It wasn't working. Well, no, it wasn't working.
Right.
But then it gets to a point where it's like, well, maybe you want to eat less or eat little to nothing and work out and maybe see how it goes from there. But it was like I was stuck in limbo.
I remember
It's like,
that. Right. I remember that when we started, like you actually did have some gym experience already. So, but you
yeah,
still really weren't seeing results. So we
yeah,
kind
no,
of fine tuned everything, and then we got you looking how you looking now.
yeah, man. You know, trying to. Well, I mean, as far as the you got to be ready mentally to start
Right.
eating the shit.
Right.
Some people, they're not ready. They're like, oh, I like my Wendy's, I like my Burger King. I'm not willing to give that up. I mean, you don't have to give it up,
That's
but you
right.
know,
That's actually correct. It's
once
correct.
a week, eating something to treat yourself instead of eating it every day is where I think where people should start. Like, don't limit yourself to things that you like, but just don't overindulge.
Remember when we set your calories, you were kind of able to eat pretty much what you wanted as long as it fit into your daily calories. Because you know, it's not ever really about, you know, eating very specific things and nothing else. You could technically eat whatever you want. That doesn't mean that all calories are equal. But once you had
Yeah,
an idea of like how to stay within your caloric window for the day, you were just flowing.
yeah. But I was honestly, I was ready to give up the garbage.
Yeah, and that's who. And listen, and you should, right? Of
I,
course.
I was, um, you know, when you eating something for so long and the shit just don't work, I was just ready to go. Like, I didn't want to step into it with one foot in. I
Right.
wanted to jump into it and do everything
100%.
right. And that's, you know, when you gave me the nutritional breakdown and all that, the eggs and the chicken, I, I was I was pretty ready to go 100%, 100% in.
There's no way that somebody makes a transformation like you did in your case unless they go 100%. Like you really gave it
Yeah,
your all, and it shows, and it's clear. It's clear as day.
I was ready, man.
You know, you made a comment. We were texting a few weeks back when we checked in. You made a comment about how, you know, you were feeling more attractive than you've ever felt.
Oh yeah, man. Definitely is definitely, man. You
Like
walk around with
so,
a tight shirt, you know, and then you get, you know, for a man, when you got women looking at you, when you
that's
go from having none look at you to having,
right.
you know, it's a confidence boost,
Of
you know.
course.
So I'm just thinking to myself, like, damn, I should have done this years ago,
Right.
you know.
Everybody
I
says the
waited
same
so long.
thing.
Yeah,
Why did I wait so
but
long?
yeah, but my confidence through the roof, bro,
Are you
through the
dating?
roof. Yeah, yeah, a lot more than before. Yeah,
And how much and how much do you feel this new you that you've transformed yourself in has to do with your confidence to date these days?
I think it has to do with everything. You know, um, you know, and of course being a good person. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, that's all.
But
That's a given,
yeah, man, I think it has to do everything because I'm just 100% confident. You know.
as you should be, bro. um,
Uh-huh.
remember, if you remember correctly, way back when, during our initial call, we were talking, and
Yeah,
you said to me, you said, "Listen, I really don't like going to the gym. We had a conversation about that, and I said, well, it probably has to do with the fact that you're not seeing results.
Yeah.
Clearly, after you've seen this kind of a transformation, do you still hate going to the gym?
No, no. But I'll be honest with you, Rob. I think the initial drive, I didn't have the drive to go to the gym because the food I was eating was shit. So when you eat shit food, you got like shit energy.
Of
You know, you're not
course.
gonna have a car and put shit gasoline in it. If you have a Mercedes Benz
Premium.
or a Maybach or whatever, you're not gonna go and get the cheap
Now
gas.
you put premium in that shit.
You're gonna get the good shit.
Yes.
So it's like going to the gym off shit gas. You have no energy. You don't want to do nothing. So when you just hit me with the food, and I was like, let me try this food, and I started eating right.
Right.
So I wanted to go,
Of course.
had the energy to go, and I felt good. And after I was done with the workout, I was like, damn, I could have did more.
Right.
You know, I think it was all that the nutrition plan that you gave me. I think that's what just changed everything, and my mindset clicked. It got to a point. Remember where I didn't? He was like, yo, you got to rest, bro.
I do remember you didn't want to stop going. I was like, you need to
Yeah,
give yourself a break.
because then you get addicted to how you start looking.
Right. Of course.
You get
See, that's
addicted.
you just touched on something really, really important. You guys out there, you just don't really understand how addictive this becomes as soon as you start seeing results. And you are literally 2 weeks away from doing things correctly to start seeing results. You're hearing this, from somebody that I've worked with for over a year and a half now. The better you look, the better you get, the more you want to do this. It adds momentum. Bro, let me ask you something.
Yeah,
Technically, as you were growing up and even half into your adult life, as you mentioned, you were technically a plus size person. Technically,
yes,
you were a plus size person. Now
yeah,
you're
bro. My
not.
life.
So now you're not. So now you know what it's like to be a plus size person and now not to be a plus size person. In your honest opinion, having experience with both, which would you prefer?
Oh, I'm being the fit person.
Why?
I mean, because it's a lot when you have you said some people they go with it, but it's just I'd rather be the fit person. It just goes along with how people look at you too. You know, some people they you get a little bit more respect when you're when you're a fit person than when you're an oversized person.
Right.
You have friends and they respect you a little bit more because they see the discipline you put. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've always had a lot of friends. I've always had a lot of friends, but like I told you, you get the little fat joke here and there. And now, all my friends growing up, they were fit, and I was fat. Now I'm the fit one, and they're the fat one.
So the tables have turned.
I have small eyes, so when you're heavier set, your face is bigger, so you look like a Buddha or the Buddha jokes.
I want to touch on one more thing having to do with being plus size. I know you see in the world right now, society is kind of painting being plus size as being okay, and it is okay. That doesn't make you a bad person. I know you well enough to know throughout us working together that you're a good person. But what I'm getting at, is it optimal? Like, is it the best? Is being plus size the optimal way to live your life, or is there a better way to live your life?
It certainly is not optimal.
And
It's
then,
not optimal if you want to live a long, healthy life.
and we should all strive for that.
I think at that weight, being that heavy, you're not gonna. I don't want to say. I don't want to sound harsh, but you won't make it long.
You're
You just
talking truth. You're talking truth. When you speak about all the people these days that are dying early, all cause mortality, when it comes to diabetes, heart disease, coronary artery disease, these diseases are all preventable, and they all come from poor choices in the way they live their life, and mostly throughout the way that they eat. So
yeah.
everything that you're speaking is 100% true.
I also think, Rob, that you bring your habits as a child into your adult life. So perhaps you have parents and they're constantly taking you to Burger King every weekend, or they feed you pizza, you subconsciously not knowing you're
Of
gonna bring
course.
those habits you have into your adult life. So it's all you know.
Absolutely. I went through the
So
same thing. Absolutely.
you know, so you just need some kind of mentorship. When you get the right mentorship, you start looking at things a bit different. You know,
Disrespected.
not saying that it's the wrong thing to do. You do what you want
Yeah.
with it. But society has made these things like diabetes and heart disease like, oh, it's okay. We have a pill for you, or we have a needle
Amen.
for you. It's okay, but it's not
It's
okay.
not okay. That's well said, bro. I really appreciate that. Look, we're gonna wrap this up on this note. Give everybody out there your greatest takeaway from making your way through the peak method that didn't have anything to do with your weight loss. Like, what has it done for you that's been the most meaningful?
I mean, I have a child, so being able to have energy to play with my son, eat right, show him how to eat right,
Right,
so he don't bring those bad habits into his adult life when he's
right,
an adult.
right.
And just knowing how to work out. I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good thing to know. You could pass it down.
Of
You
course.
have children, you pass it down. So it's just more than the confidence in how I look. I could give this what you gave me, and I can give it to my son when he gets older. You know?
You couldn't have ended on a better note, bro. I really appreciate you doing this. Your time means a lot, and thank you for your feedback. It was my pleasure to help.
All right, my brother.
Take care, bro.